The royal family,
the Duchess of Sussex.
The royal family titles is
that Meghan Markle.
British royal family has.
Developing today, a growing plot to try and drag down Catherine, the Princess of Wales, into the ongoing scandal involving Prince Andrew.
Something is brewing inside the royal walls, and this time the target isn't Prince Andrew or King Charles. It's Princess Catherine, the future queen, and the palace's best-kept secret may finally be unraveling. For months, royal insiders have whispered that Buckingham Palace is running quiet campaigns, not against the media, not against foreign critics, but against their own family. And now, new evidence suggests that a plot to drag down Princess Catherine has officially begun. It all started with the implosion of the York family. Prince Andrew, Sarah Ferguson, Princess Beatrice, and Eugenie, still drowning in the shadow of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
I know exactly what is being done with this column, because you've got to read between the lines, because obviously on the surface you can say, well, Liz Jones has sort of been nice about Catherine, you know, praising her as a cancer survivor. But trust me, I have reported on this woman.
When the late Queen Elizabeth was gone, blame quietly shifted toward King Charles and Prince William. But now the spotlight is turning to Catherine herself, the one royal who has worked tirelessly to stay far from scandal. Royal reporters like to play innocent. But make no mistake, this latest wave of headlines accusing Ruthless Kate of pulling strings behind Andrew's eviction from Royal Lodge didn't appear out of thin air. Those stories were fed to the press, and the fingerprints allegedly trace right back to Buckingham Palace itself. Journalist Liz Jones of the Daily Mail recently published an explosive column painting Kate as a calculating power player, claiming she's the driving force behind Andrew's downfall, and that no one dares cross her. She even labeled her Ruthless Kate, describing the princess as a lioness guarding her territory, a woman who saw off Meghan and now dominates royal decision-making. But critics say this narrative is pure manipulation, a clever attempt to turn public admiration into suspicion. Royal commentators have pointed out that Catherine has always stayed above the chaos. She's never leaked, never lashed out, never played victim. So why attack her now? Because, insiders claim, it's a diversion tactic. When the palace faces growing criticism for the king's health, Prince Andrew's scandals, and Harry's ongoing public feuds, the easiest way to deflect blame is to plant stories that distract the press. And who better to target than the royal family's most popular figure, the one person whose reputation threatens to outshine the entire institution? Even some longtime royal analysts believe these briefings are coming directly from within Buckingham Palace, an internal power struggle aimed at protecting the monarch's image at any cost. One source put it bluntly: when the king's approval drops, someone inside the palace always leaks a story to make Catherine look like the villain. But the public isn't buying it. The latest royal favorability poll shows Catherine and William leading by a massive margin, far ahead of King Charles and Prince Harry. People see her as the calm, grounded center of the chaos, the modern anchor of the monarchy. And that's exactly why the attacks sting. Even her critics admit she's never tried to outshine her husband. Her focus has always been on her children and her humanitarian work, particularly her advocacy for mental health and early childhood care. Painting her as a manipulative schemer feels like a desperate move from those trying to shift the conversation away from their own failures. Meanwhile, Sarah Ferguson, once welcomed back into the spotlight, is now being quietly erased from British television, dropped by ITV after her emails begging Jeffrey Epstein for forgiveness and cash were exposed. It's the latest in a long chain of missteps that's left the York family spiraling. And some insiders say Fergie's downfall was the perfect distraction the palace needed to shield Charles from fresh scrutiny. But behind the chaos, the machine keeps turning. Reports suggest Charles's communications team, led by his inner circle, has been selectively feeding journalists stories to manage narratives, especially those involving William and Catherine. In other words, protect the king, sacrifice the heirs. And it's not just gossip anymore. Senior commentators like Tom Sykes of The Royalist are now publicly saying it. Buckingham Palace has become a battlefield of factions, where courtiers brief against each other in panic, trying to control a royal brand slipping out of their hands. Even King Charles himself hasn't escaped criticism. While battling his health issues, he's reportedly been frustrated by the growing popularity of William and Catherine. Some insiders claim that his aides fear the younger couple's clean image makes the king look weak and outdated, a dangerous comparison for an institution built on hierarchy and control. But Catherine? She's kept her head high, refusing to comment or lash out. In public, she continues to smile, attend engagements, and focus on her recovery and her causes. Behind the scenes, those close to her say she's hurt but unbroken. And for many Britons, that only strengthens her reputation as the royal family's last symbol of dignity. At the end of the day, the truth seems painfully clear. While the palace scrambles to control scandals, Princess Catherine has become collateral damage in their PR war. The Ruthless label is just another smokescreen, a calculated hit designed to keep attention away from the real problems inside Buckingham Palace. But it might just backfire. Because the more they try to tear her down, the more the public rallies behind her. The Princess of Wales remains the crown's brightest jewel, and even a royal plot can't dim her light.